All right, that works now. Okay. Great. So, first about me. I was recently working in defense industry. I moved to that security company with the difficult name, like someone smashed the keyboard. And I worked there as a SOC analyst. And I came up with an idea about social engineering honeypots, because social engineering attacks are on the rise. Recent data shows it's even the involvement of attacks is up to 85%. And obviously we are in the cybersecurity industry. We're supposed to secure systems, protect people. From my perspective, it seems like we're kind of missing a huge threat service. So what is a honeypot? Secure mechanism designed to lure attackers by simulating a vulnerable system, or in my concept, social profiles like LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. Right? The benefit of this concept, honeypots, I'm sure you're familiar, but let me just rewind that for you, is just to detect, deflect, analyze the intelligence we get from those observations to protect better. So deception and security, usually deception is something that hackers use most of the time, and I think we just should adapt and match their techniques. Like, if they're using it, it's easy, it's low-hanging fruit. Why shouldn't we? And it will definitely benefit us in the long term. So, when I was researching the topic, it was interesting to me how we get decrease in time to compromise over the last 5 years. It depends which data you're going to look at, but it's going to be something from around 100 minutes down to 5 minutes in recent years, which is a huge challenge, right? Because we don't have much time to respond. We need to be quick, and when the breach happens, when there's like an incident, every minute counts. And if we can get more time to respond, we can slow the attacker down. That will benefit us significantly. At the same time, you can see like the same graph is going the other direction. The rise of social engineering. How many social engineering attacks have been taking place? And again, depends who you're going to ask about the data. You're going to get different results, but it's undeniably on the rise. You just cannot deny it. And then when you combine those two graphs, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I'm not saying that correlations means causation. There's different factors included. Like, for example, I've seen statistic that there's apparently 3-4 more times 0 days attacks involved, which is a bit strange. Because the problem is people measure 0 days differently. So it is the same, really. There's obviously a rise in cybercrime, ransomware as a service, crime as a service in general nowadays. And, if you're a criminal because if you'll be a hardworking person, you would not choose a crime. You're choosing crime because you want to pick up the easy way. And in the easy ways, for example, stealing credentials, like why bother with 0 days? Why bother with, implementing some backdoor in the open source software? If you can just steal the login from someone, from Facebook, whatever, social engineering that. So I do believe we need a more robust and interdisciplinary approach. So what we used to do, what we do as an industry, we do get this hero complex, like 007, sophisticated, military grade encryption and so on. Well, at the end of the day, what criminals do, they go for an easy way to compromise their system. If they can just log in, why would they bother with, wasting so much time of their own if they can just compromise the system by logging in, going to deep web, dark web, or just social engineering the employees of the organization on their own. So we tend to go to extremes when we approach end users either we're going to go like once a year, click through, done, don't care about it, I got my assessment done, or we're trying to turn them into cybersecurity experts themselves, which is ridiculous. That's our job. We are the cybersecurity experts. So, so where's the middle lane approach? What are we going to do with that? And that's where I came up with an idea of social engineering honeypot. And it's very simple. It's very simple, and that's why I was really surprised when I was researching for this talk and I was interested in this. I was really surprised that no one else kind of really spent time to develop any tools to help us protect organizations in this way from this kind of threat. Because, like I said, 85%, it's a really long number, really big number. And I'm not saying we're going to stop 85% of the attacks this way, but if we can just at least slow them down or stop some of them, it's already a win. And it's very easy to do. And what it kind of requires is a shift from that mentality of cybersecurity experts, sophisticated algorithms, blinky boxes, etc. That's all important. But the basic measures are the most effective. Patching systems, making sure that the end users are informed, that they know what they're facing. So we're just covering the basics, basically. That's why Cyber Essentials was such a successful program, in my opinion. Anyway, when I was building proof of concept, the WhatsApp honeypot, because I apologize, I do not have data on the usage of it, but if you go on Twitter, LinkedIn, you see how much threats are just coming from WhatsApp. And they're coming this way because it's so easy to automate and exploit, etc. While at the same time, we should be using the same tools. Like if it's easy for them, it should be easy for us, obviously. So we should leverage the same techniques they are using. So what I've used is just like Twilio, Flask, and WhatsApp Business Account and OpenAI. Altogether, spends out to like £50 a month. I mean, depending, it varies, right? But the cost is very, very low. And I'm looking at, I'm saying it will cost you nothing, basically, as an organization. And at the same time, it's so easy to maintain because it's mostly automated. Obviously, I'm not saying this is like it's not like a golden solution to all social engineering attacks. That's not the point. But if it adds another layer of security, like what are we going to do it? Like, what are we doing? So step by step, obviously I'm going to share the code and how I did it on Twitter or LinkedIn. Feel free to approach me if you'd like to know how I did it. But it's super easy. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I used ChatGPT to help with it. And I could do it myself in a week, but with ChatGPT I just did it in half a day. Right? I'm just saying I'm not an engineer. Anyone can do it. That's so easy. And I cannot understand why we are not implementing any kind of measures when it's so easy. And it offers another layer of protection, a significant layer, man. Step-by-step guide how to do it. WhatsApp account, video, Flask, and work and open. Yeah. Very cheap, very efficient. Code is very simple. Again, cannot rely on ChatGPT solely. It was making some mistakes. I had to look at the documentation, tell it how to do it, where we're going. But at the end of the day, it took me half a day. I'm not an engineer. I had some basics in Python. That's it. If you're going to dedicate someone who is an expert or professional in that field, they can take it so much further. And you can take. So obviously, AI is not really reliable. But still, if you spend some time, you can prompt it, especially with ChatGPT 4.0. I know, AI now, everything is AI now, and I'm sorry that I'm putting AI again, but it's so easy. That's the benefit. And the logging features, you can spin up, like, for example, you prompted your receptionist, you got this kind of credentials, you don't want to dish them out, but eventually it's not about teaching AI not to give credentials. We want to see what happens, how the post-exploitation phase looks like, what happens when, how they approach people in the organization with the current threats. So you can, build a lot of things in there. You can make it escalate cases to the live agents in real time. Or you can just log it for the purpose of it. And use cases. So the most basic and obviously actionable current intelligence for your organization. Right? Your organization. I'm not saying about, there's 60,000 attacks in a month or whatever. No, your organization. Are they being scammed using like Amazon vouchers or whatever? And then you can go with some actionable intelligence to your employees, to people within your organization, and tell them, look for this particular attack. It's very simple, and that's what actually we should do. Do not make end users cybersecurity experts. They don't want to be cybersecurity experts. We want to be those people. This is our role to defend organization. And I think this is one of the ways, this is the direction we should be aiming at. So the way I think about it should be almost like a weather forecast. Like at this time, you're facing this kind of attacks. Watch out for this. That's it. Right? Mm-hmm. So obviously we're going to create some fake profiles, some fake engagement. We're going to pretend there's an employee who's joining, maybe someone's leaving, maybe someone just likes to share a little bit too much information on social media, and that's going to be then leveraged for intelligence, and hopefully some attackers will get fooled this way and use it. But there are a couple of steps we can take it further. It depends on the organization and what your goal is. Well, at the most basic level, we can design the AI, the profile, to dish out the credentials, like decode credentials or honey tokens. So at least whenever someone tries to use those credentials, they're just going to be blocked immediately, forever, basic. But we can go further and we can spin up a honeypot, and even we can spin up a whole infrastructure and see how attacker goes using the credentials, how they're gonna act. And then we can defend better using this intelligence, this knowledge. That's already a closing now. So in my opinion, we do need a polymath approach in cybersecurity quite urgently. And I'm not saying everyone should be a polymath. That's unrealistic. But having everyone involved, everyone on board, and we need an interdisciplinary approach, just like on the graph. Like, cybersecurity is not just catching hackers and drinking coffee. It's so much more. It's compliance, assessments, evaluations, patching, etc. Cyber essentials programs like these have been hugely successful exactly because of that reason. They cover the basics. We have the tendency to have more blinking boxes, military-grade encryption, and God knows what, for snake hole, saleswoman, it's great leverage, right? But in reality, what's the most successful is just doing the basics, right? You can call it like zero trust, or you can call it design by secure by design. Because basically doing the right job when you start. Criminals will always go for the low-hanging fruit, right? And it's cool that we're playing Agent 007, super sophisticated algorithms that's going to predict everything. But at the end of the day, it all comes to people who analyze this. Criminals will go for the easiest way, the easiest path, the easiest game, right? They're not ambitious people. They just want to get quick points. We can patch people, and we need to realize that people are people. People are not machines. And we need to get off our high horse and talk to them in a way that they understand, right? don't educate them, don't make them cybersecurity experts. We are cybersecurity experts. We're supposed to do this job. Don't make end users do your job. It's just ridiculous. But just, so that was my whole point, really, We can use what we have, we can adapt like criminals are adapting. We can adapt in the same way, use low-cost tools, and change our ways to make everyone involved and make security accessible to everyone. And that's it. Oh, also, feel free to test the chatbot. It's very basic, but you can just, if you text this number with J50 driven, you can test the chatbot. It's very basic. Not gonna lie. ChatGPT 3.5, not the latest version. But it does have a hidden credentials. So if any one of you can leverage this, if anyone kept those credentials, I don't know, I'll take you out for dinner. We're going to figure out something. So consider this as a capture the flag kind of challenge. But that's not the point. Like I say, I'm not an engineer. It just came up in my head just observing the landscape of cybersecurity industry at the moment and how end users are confused. Look at today, CrowdStrike, what's happening? How many people are so confused at the moment? They don't know what the fuck is going on, right? We should explain it to them in the way they understand it, right? Not so we look professional, not so we are so amazing. No, how they can actually help us. Help me help you, kind of. Right? And that's it. Thank you for your patience. Like I said, That's it. Oh, sorry. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you identify any new attacker TTPs using the sandbox?
No. So I'm going to be honest. I just spin it up for purpose of so just I don't come empty-handed. But we do. So I joined that security company. Check us out. No, honestly, reach out to us. We're quite innovative. And we got some really cool things in the pipeline. And hopefully next year I'll come with some actual intelligence and data I can provide to you, how that worked, how we implemented it. And potentially, I honestly believe it's a good product. It costs you nothing. How expensive are current systems, right? This costs you nothing. And how much, even if it protects just like 1 in 5 attacks, it's still worth it. That was my point.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
That's right. Thanks, that's very interesting. How scalable do you think?
So it depends. So when I was researching it, I've seen people implementing this kind of concept as an idea into EDR or like on a wide scale adoption, which for me misses the point because it's about protecting your organization. It's tailored to your specific situation and your employees. Someone is targeting your employees from your organization. And even if it's just like, one hit every month, it tells you that someone's actually looking at your company, your organization. They're researching it, checking out, scanning, if you will.
So you don't see this as a product we use offers to companies who want to...
No, I do, absolutely. But it depends how you define scaling up. Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want it to be mass production in a way like, because that's what people get caught up in. Like, we did a massive research. We got so much data about a variety of attacks. Like, yeah, we know that. we already know that. But what is your organization facing? What you have to be afraid today, this month, this week? Thank you.
Hey, Rob. Just one more question. So I think this is like really kind of cool because if you're in a situation where you do a lot of call center stuff and somebody starts hitting that number with like spoofing attempts, like, bank frauds and stuff like that, have you thought about like what you're going to do with that type of info that like isn't directly related but is like a phishing campaign, for instance, or smishing campaign for one of the banks? Like, how are you going to let that bank know without saying, hey, I'm Ralph, I'm a security researcher?
That's a good question. I didn't think about it in this way. Obviously, let me be clear. This is a WhatsApp example, but you can apply it to LinkedIn. Anything, any emails. Why not? Anything, and it will be just as easy, in my opinion. Early, but I'm going to be honest. I do see it as like a very targeted kind of protection for you, especially for you. Obviously, if you're going to come across about some valuable intelligence or some new tactics no one ever seen before, yeah, share it. Yeah, absolutely, I'll share it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
We've tried to, in the past, as researchers, create fake identities and seize this information. How much of this solution relies on getting that number out to making it where it's searchable and straightforward? You getting it in front of something, where do they normally go?
I see. So how do they get involved in the honeypots? Is that what you mean?
How do you put the honeypot out there for them to come to you?
So that's what I'm saying. That's why it should be targeted, in my opinion. Obviously, you can just put it on Twitter, get shared random places. Or like, oops, I share my phone number. And then you're going to get scammers about Roman scams or some silly things. Well, we already know that's happening for everyone, I'm looking for targeted protection specifically for your organization. And also, I would like to actually, I forgot to mention, you can use AI because that was the easiest in my piece. Or you can at the same time use natural language processing. The thing is, it will take you more time to fine tune it, and it requires more effort, but it will be at the same time much cheaper. But yeah, so the concept is, why is it? I think when it's relevant to you, it's actionable, and actionable is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't want data for the sake of it. So I put a report and yay, we can get intelligence, right? We want something that will actually help end users face day-to-day threats and protect your organization at the end of the day. So
it's more like when they get approached, tell them to send this number instead.
Oh, no, so I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So the concept is you create Facebook, LinkedIn, all kinds of social media profiles. And so let's say I joined a recently that cybersecurity company. I had 2 scam attempts. One I kind of investigated, led me to, it was trying to make me buy some Apple cards, gift cards. That makes sense, yeah.
Thanks very much. We've got, we'll talk in a minute about